$1 trillion of trade. Rerouted around a continent. In 14 months, 18 nautical miles. That's the width of the strait that did it. Bab el-Mandeb, the Gate of Tears. Before October 2023, 12% of global seaborne trade squeezed through this gap. 30% of every container on Earth, 10% of the world's oil, now near zero. How did a militia with no navy turn off the Suez Canal? Let's walk through the math. October 7, 2023, Hamas attacks Israel. 24 days later, on October 31st, the Houthis, Iran-backed forces controlling western Yemen, issue a declaration: any vessel linked to Israel passing the Red Sea is now a target. November 19th, they mean it. A helicopter drops Houthi fighters onto the deck of the Galaxy Leader, a Bahamian-flagged car carrier owned by an entity tied to an Israeli businessman. 25 crew taken hostage, held for over a year. By January 2024, the calculus is settled. Maersk, MSC, CMA CGM, Hapag-Lloyd, Evergreen. The 5 largest container lines on the planet all suspend Red Sea transits indefinitely. The new route, south. Around the Cape of Good Hope. The same passage Vasco da Gama sailed in 1497, back in fashion in 2024. A militia with quadcopters had rewired the map of global shipping. The math of the detour is brutal. Cape of Good Hope adds 3,500 to 6,000 nautical miles per voyage between Asia and Europe. 10 to 14 extra days at sea. $1 million more in bunker fuel per ship, per trip. Now multiply that across every container, every tanker, every car carrier that used to take the shortcut. Then turn to Egypt. The Suez Canal Authority collected $9.4 billion in transit fees in 2023. By September 2024, monthly revenue was down 60 to 70%. Annualized hit, $6 billion. Cash Egypt does not have. Cairo was already bleeding. The tourism sector was soft. The currency had been devalued 3 times in 18 months. In March 2024, Egypt went to the International Monetary Fund and walked out with an $8 billion emergency package. The Cairo Stock Exchange, down 14% year over year. A war on the other side of the Red Sea was draining the treasury of one of America's most important Arab allies, without firing a single shot at an Egyptian. That is what a choke point failure looks like. The Houthi arsenal is the asymmetry, and it changes naval warfare. Anti-ship ballistic missiles. The first time in history these have been fired at commercial shipping. Khaybar, Asef, Mohit variants, Iranian supplied. Roughly $500,000 each. Iranian Shahed 1-36 drones, $20,000 apiece. Quadcopter drones, as low as 1,000. Explosive unmanned surface vessels prowling the strait at night. On the other side, the United States Navy. Operation Prosperity Guardian launches December 18, 2023. The USS Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group anchors it. The destroyers Carney, Mason, and Gravely shoot down inbound threats. British, French, Italian, and Danish ships join. The weapon of choice? The SM-2 missile, $2 million each. The SM-6, $4 million. Read that again. $2 million interceptors shooting down $20,000 drones. Sometimes $1,000 drones. Through the end of 2024, the Pentagon's own figures put US spending on Red Sea operations at over $1 billion. Tehran spent, by Western intelligence estimates, close to nothing. The weapons came through Hodeidah port. The war was waged at 50-to-1 cost ratios, and the missiles kept coming. From November 2023 through May 2025, the Houthis launched more than 180 attacks on commercial shipping. They hit over 100 vessels. 2 were sunk. The Ruby Mar, a UK-owned bulk carrier, went down on March 2, 2024, spilling 21,000 tons of fertilizer into the Red Sea. An environmental disaster the headlines forgot. The Tutor, a Greek bulker, sank in June after a drone boat and missile strike. 4 sailors killed. Lloyd's of London responded the only way insurance markets can. The war risk premium for Red Sea transit jumped from 0.05% of hull value to 0.7%, sometimes a full percent. a 10 to 20 times spike. On a $200 million VLCC tanker, that's an extra $1.4 to $2 million in premiums per voyage. The math made the detour cheaper than the insurance, which is why the shipping lines never came back. May 6, 2025, the Trump administration announces a ceasefire. The Houthis agree to stop attacking US-flagged or US-owned vessels. In exchange, the US halts its airstrikes. Read the fine print. The deal covers American shipping. It does not cover anyone else. Attacks on European, Asian, and Israeli-linked vessels continued. Maersk and MSC did not rush back. Neither did Hapag-Lloyd or CMA-CGM. Bloomberg's shipping analysts, in late 2025, estimated full normalization of Red Sea transits would not happen until late 2026, at the earliest. The strait did not reopen because the war ended. It reopened only for the country that could afford to leave. Here is what the Red Sea taught us. 2 coasts, one Yemeni, one Djiboutian, separated by 33 kilometers of water. On the Djibouti side, a US base, a Chinese base, a French base, a Japanese base, the most concentrated military real estate on Earth. On the other side, a militia with Iranian drones, 12% of global trade, held hostage for over 2 years, by weapons that cost less than a used car. The lesson is not that the Houthis won. The lesson is that the cheapest leverage in modern war is geography, and the most expensive defense is forgetting that. Next episode, the Strait of Hormuz. Subscribe, and we'll meet you there.